Kylie, of course, we know you here as an actress from Neighbours more than anything else. I was wondering at what stage you decided to become a singer.
Well, I was performing at a football benefit concert of all things in Australia, and I was singing a song backed by about five of the cast from Neighbours, and we sang a song, and of course we were all really nervous. And once we'd done the song, we had such a good time. We wanted to sing something else, and we hadn't planned anything. I knew the words to Loco-Motion, the backing symbol, and I thought the band would know it, so we did this impromptu number. And everybody loved it, and it was then suggested to me I should record the song, which I did.
Is it something you've always wanted to do?
Um, as a kid, I was a typical 10-year-old prancing around with a hairbrush, pretend ABBA concerts and things like that. But I guess I did dream about being a singer or an actor, but I never thought it would happen.
How were you signed exactly? Because there's quite an interesting story behind that, isn't there? How you came to be signed to like a label.
Well, I recorded Loco-Motion as a demo tape, and that was sent to Mushroom Records in Australia. And of course, I was in Neighbours at the time, so they knew who I was. And they signed me up, yeah. And then they just happened to be bringing over Mike Duffy, who's an engineer with PWL, to Australia to remix some 12 inches from other bands of theirs. So he remixed Loco-Motion for me, hence the connection with PWL.
Of course, that was a big hit, wasn't it, in Australia?
Yeah, that was number one for 7 weeks, and you're about to hear a new version here.
Did you feel at one stage that perhaps you might not be taken seriously because you're an actress turned singer?
It was very daunting and sort of a bit of a worry at first to think uh, I won't be taken seriously and they'll think, hey, here's a soapy actress, she's going to make a lot of money and run away. But, the one-hit wonder has sort of gone away. I've had 3 hits and now an album out. And, I'm the first to admit I'm very new to this industry, um, music industry, and I'm prepared to learn a lot and sort of spend some time on it. So I think I'm accepted all right.
I Should Be So Lucky has been Britain's biggest selling single of this year so far. How surprised were you by that?
Extremely, and especially not being here to be able to promote the record. So if it did so well on its own, it's great. And obviously Neighbours has helped a lot to that. And I couldn't have asked for anything more. It was great.
What impact is your singing career having on Neighbours? Because we've heard all sorts of stories in the press here that, you're going to have to choose one or the other at some stage. What is the state of play?
Well, I left Neighbours about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. I can't keep track of time. And of course, I've left the show, but it doesn't mean I'll never go back. Um, the storyline has been left open so I can return if I want to. And so I'm concentrating on the album now, doing a 2-month promotional tour of England, Europe and America. And then hopefully I'll go back to acting afterwards.
Was it a hard decision for you to make? Because it must have been a big part of your life being in Neighbours.
Yeah, it was very difficult. And of course it was very tearful goodbye.
They're coming to take you away. I think the police were after
Yeah.
you as well. Well, wait, hang on, we'll wait until that's gone by. I'll actually re-ask that. I can always tell when his face drops a mile.
It was a very tearful goodbye, and I had a really busy day. My last day of work was a Friday, and I was in almost every scene, so I wasn't even thinking about leaving. I was thinking about all my lines. And once I had finished the last scene, I first had a scream of joy. I thought, it's over. And then I cried and cried and cried. And that night they had a farewell party for me. They gave me these lovely going away gifts, and I went to do my acceptance speech, and I burst into tears again. So it was very sad.
So you left on very good terms?
Yeah, in fact, I was back at the channel the week afterwards doing a kids show, and they said, "Oh, didn't you go?"
Having had 2 successful careers must have put a lot of pressure on somebody your age. Have you felt it quite intensely?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, but I'm glad I've got my family. I've got their support, and my friends are very supportive as well. And I think because I went into Neighbours when I was 17, I guess you get used to a sort of a level of how much you work. 12-hour days sort of normal for me. And because it's been a gradual progression, like it hasn't hit me all at once, I've grown used to it. It's not so bad, but sometimes you sort of wish you were doing a normal job.
Do you worry that it might sort of take you over completely and that you won't have time for other things that are maybe important in your life?
um, I think if you let everybody else sort of push you where they want you to go, you could end up like that. But I've got a good grip on what I want, and separating illusion from reality, and I would always make sure I've got time for my friends and family, and especially for myself.
You were saying that your family's very important in keeping you on the straight and narrow. What sorts of things do they say? What advice do you get from your family?
Well, fortunately, I haven't had to have any. I mean, if I get to the stage where they're saying, Kylie, settle down, I don't think I'd like to be doing this, because, I mean, it could easily get to you and you could get lost in all the hype. But it's a job, and I'm enjoying it while it's lasting.
This is a bit cheeky of me, I know, but do you have time for boyfriends amongst all this?
Well, you never know.
You keep being very tight-lipped about that one, are you?
Not necessarily tight-lipped, but I think it's good to have a little bit of mystery there, and people can guess.
We're going to have letters in from all over Europe now. You just don't know what you started there. Going back to Neighbours, is Charlene, the character you played, anything like the real Kylie Minogue?
Charlene's very boisterous. She's a real tomboy, and she sort of punch someone if they said something to offend her or a friend of hers, but she's very loving underneath all of that. And I don't know, I'm a Gemini. Most people say, uh-oh, when I say that. So sometimes I'm very boisterous and sometimes I'm pretty shy.
How do you account for the huge popularity of the show here? Because it's #2 in the ratings and virtually everybody watches it.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know. They're all asking that question, what is it Neighbours has? And I guess if they could figure out what it is, we'd all be making successful shows. But I think it's the normality of the show. It's sort of not Dynasty or Dallas that's a bit glamorous and a bit difficult to relate to. It's pretty normal. The characters are all good fun. It's just pure enjoyment. It's not sort of trying to make a statement of art or literature or anything. It's just for people to enjoy it, and they do.
Got to be Certain's been enormously successful for you too as a single. Tell us a bit about that. A good thing to record for you?
Yeah, I actually recorded that in Melbourne, in Australia. Mike Stock came over with the backing tracks and all, so I recorded it there. And I'm a real Melbourne supporter, so I'm pretty proud of that. And it's good, it's done really well.
Is that where you're from?
Melbourne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so good about it?
Well, Sydney, most people consider Sydney as Australia, and Melbourne is about an hour's flight from Sydney. And there's this sort of unspoken rivalry because Sydney's weather's better and they've got the harbour and they've got the bridge and the opera house. And I'm always supporting Melbourne.
You've got the new album coming out, and I was wondering what we could expect to actually hear on it, because of course a lot of people won't have got round to getting it into their collection yet.
Well, it entered the charts at #2, which was great, and it should pleasantly surprise a few people. It's got, of course, the sort of disco hits that most people have heard, and it's also got a couple of slow dance tracks and a couple of numbers that have got more of a sort of blues feel to them. So I hope they like it.
Can you see a point when you'll be writing a lot of your material too?
I'd like to, but I know it's not as simple as picking up a pen and writing a song, writing a hit. I think I'm lucky with Stockatkin and Waterman that are sort of a good basis to watch and to learn from. So I'll give it a go.
And finally, you've arrived in London, and I mean, it's been like a real whirl. We hear that you're clubbing every night, and you're the
I've
latest
been
to
to
be
a club
seen.
one night.
Yeah, what's been the story?
I went to Brown's just a couple of nights ago, and then in the paper it's saying they bump into me everywhere. Beyond me.
So you can't see yourself as an avid nightclubber just yet then?
Well, I like going out to clubs, but it's just a matter of finding time. If I've got a day off the next day, it's all right.
I know you've got a very hectic schedule coming up, but tell us exactly what you're going to be doing.
Well, I've been in England for 2 weeks now, and I was in Hong Kong for 3 days before I came here. So it's off to Germany, Sweden, different European countries, and to America, then back here, then back to Europe. It's sort of all over the place for 2 months.
It'll be sunglasses on after a while, won't it?
I think so.
Shut your eyes behind them. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
It's been great to meet you.